Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Welcome to the School of Awesome. This video is going to be different, and I'm going to give you a warning ahead of time. I'll let you know when, but there's going to be some graphic images. So year of the Fire Horse has really taken off for me. So how's the year of the Fire Horse been treating you? What's it been like for you guys? For me, I can't stop. What I'm about to show you, what I'm about to tell you is going to shock you. Literally, I can't stop. By the way, the name of the song is I Can't Stop by Punch Deck. So a lot of you have never really truly pushed yourself. Some of you have, and some of you have been pushed a lot. But I mean at a level where you just can't stop no matter what happens. Okay, so I'm going to start from the beginning. So something did happen. It was pretty traumatic. I'm not going to dramatize the words right now. So 16 years ago, I know a lot of you know they got ran over by a car, broke over 24 bones, and spinal injuries, neck injury, head injuries, tore my brain in 3 places. Massive pain. But as soon as I could, I got right back on that horse. And it wasn't some kind of bravado thing or I've got to do it. It's just because I can't sit around doing nothing. This video I've actually put off for at least 7 to 10 days. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. So you all know that last year, October, I was in a pretty bad accident. I ended up in the emergency room and I had to have surgery, which I got done February 13th of this year, 2026. And the operation was actually more painful than the accident. It was excruciatingly painful. So it did knock me on my ass for I would say the first 7 days to 10 days was just unbelievable. And even up until the 21st day, the pain was it was beyond anything I think I've ever felt in my life. For some reason, this surgery, I've had the same or very similar surgery on the same shoulder years ago. It was nothing like this. Wait till you see what happened and what I'm about to tell you. So essentially, after the last accident, I was told not to lift weights, not to pretty much do anything, especially not ride my bike until 10 weeks. And honestly, I think it was the 10th day I actually rode my bike into San Francisco. Now, I took a bus to the bridge, but then I rode it down to the city and back, and I grabbed the bus on this side. I crossed the bus, but across the Golden Gate Bridge. And, I couldn't sit around and I definitely shouldn't have done it. I was definitely told not to do it. Sorry, I should say after the last surgery. I had an accident, then I had surgery. And I was definitely told don't do anything. I wasn't allowed to drive, I wasn't allowed to ride a bike, I wasn't allowed to exercise, like nothing. So fairly soon because it was a 10-week thing where I wasn't supposed to do anything. I think it was like the 11th, 12th, 14th day, probably before that I did that trip, and then I did it again. Now here's the weirdest thing in the world. For some reason I decided to ride my bike all the way to San Francisco, or from San Rafael into the city, which is a round trip just to the bridge and back is I think it's about a 20-mile trip, maybe a little bit more, maybe 24. And then a couple days later I did this 40-mile trip, not realizing how far I was going. So by the 8th week, I was just flying, doing my thing, doing whatever, and things were great. The arm was working great, the strength was coming back, coordination, movement, and things were great. And here's the thing: 4 days before I saw my doctor for the last appointment, I thought, I'm going to take just a 4 or 5 mile ride. Now here's probably the most interesting thing about all of this. My mood has been unbelievably upbeat. Now, one thing I want to put out there is that I had my energy healer do 2 sessions on me, 5 days after, and then a day or two after that, because the pain was so insanely excruciating from the operation. I've had, I think, 7 operations now, and that one was, for some reason, it was just through the roof. It was worse than anything, and I've had the same shoulder worked on before. Now, whenever you do energy healing, even if it's for physical injury or ailment, it brings up an emotional issue that's been buried underneath, okay? So regardless of what you get energy healing for, it's going to bring an issue up. And I did go through that for about 2 to 3 weeks. It was intense. It was horrible because you're dealing with a negative emotion. And every healing session is different. Different emotions come up. So the point being is I finally cleared it, and it was a rough one. So I noticed I was just really happy, even though my arm's in a sling and I'm doing all this stuff, and it was, painful and blah, blah, blah. And something happened. It was 4 days before the 10th week, the end of the 10th week, when I was supposed to see my doctor, and he was going to give me the okay clearance. I went for a bike ride. It was just going to be about 4 to 6 miles, and it was really super safe, only on flatland, not going up or downhill. And then bam. There's some really good news that I'm about to share with you, so don't worry about this. This isn't a depressing video. So if you look at my collarbone, I broke it right next to where he did the surgery. So if you look to the left of the broken bone, there's a pin on top, and it's got a thing that goes all the way down through the bone and all the way down. I don't know how to describe it because I have a pointer, but to the bottom of that one bone right there by the shoulder bone, okay? And then what he did was he took a cadaver's tendon from his hamstring, and he had to tie everything together on my shoulder muscle, the titanium pin, etc., to pull everything tight, to pull it down. And for the first 4 or 5 weeks, I thought, oh, I'm never going to be able to use my arm again because it wasn't working. I mean, it just wasn't working. I thought, oh, no, this was a mistake, because at least it worked before the surgery. So here's the deal. The picture you're looking at right now was from about 12 days ago. I got another accident and I broke my collarbone. That's why it's broken this image, because before it wasn't broken. We were just pinning it down. Now when I say broken, I don't mean fractured. It's completely broken through. I'm sure you can see that. So I ended up in the emergency room. This was way worse than, this was the second worst accident I've ever been. I was completely out, got hauled away by the ambulance, fire department came, got me. I didn't wake up till I got to the hospital. I woke up briefly when they first got there, and boom, I was out. So this was not the only injury. There's other injuries, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And I'm going to warn you because they're pretty graphic. They're not too bad, but they're pretty visual. And if you're squeamish, probably, after this video, this image stops, I'll warn you, I'll let you know. So here's what I broke. I broke my collarbone completely through, as you can see in this image. I broke my shoulder blade from top to bottom. It cracked it all the way through, all the way down to the bottom. I also got 6 stitches in my head. I must have hit something, and I'm just going to say it was a bloody mess. It was, okay, this is the part where I woke up for about 60 seconds. Some lady was as I heard the sirens, that's what woke me up. And she had probably a towel or a shirt covering my head. And I remember I couldn't see anything. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And some lady's like, don't move, don't move. And I was like, oh, okay. She sounded really, really kind. So I felt safe. Now here's the weird thing. I thought she started pouring warm water over my head, and I'm like, why are you pouring water on my head? She goes, I'm not. And I go, well, what is that? And she goes, nothing. And I'm thinking, nothing. I can feel it. It was my own blood literally pouring out of my head. It was really bad. How I found out was when they tilted me on the board to get me on the board, I saw it. It was about a little bit more than a pint, I would say. Now what I'm about to tell you is going to shock you. Not yet, but towards the end. So I also cracked my sternum, ripped it the right side off from the rib cage. I got bruised ribs, cracked ribs. I've got One dislocated rib. I've got road rash like you would not believe, but it's already healed, and I mean all except for one's 100% healed, completely done in 12 days. Okay, so here's the warning. It's going to show you the road rash. Not all of it. There's 7 places on my body that got completely torn up, but I'm just going to show you about, I think it's 5 of them. Oh, and by the way, the doctor says he can fix my shoulder, so it's not a big deal actually. I know it sounds funny. So here it is, warning, it's coming in 3, 2, 1. So this is my knee, and here's the worst part right here. This is my other knee. And this is my left bicep, the side of it. Don't worry, the tattoo's actually okay. This is actually my left shoulder. It's probably not too close of an image, but it's from my the top and a little bit behind my left shoulder. This is what broke my collarbone. And here's the 6 staples in my head, metal staples. Now what I'm about to tell you is going to shock you. So for some reason I'm in exquisitely good mood, and I mean even in the hospital, and even one of the nurses like, you seem like you're in a really good mood for being so injured. I'm like, yeah, I know, it's kind of unusual. For sure, it's from the clearing that I did from the surgery, the energy healing we did after the 5th and 6th day. Here comes the interesting part. So the 3rd day, what do you think I did? I actually took a bus to the Golden Gate Bridge, walked across the bridge, and I did it really fast actually, and I went down. Now this is with all the road rash. I had no bandages. I just put Vaseline on everything. I said fuck it, I just went. I think the type of jeans I had for some reason didn't really rub the knees very much at all. So I go walking down to Chrissy Field. I went to Sports Basement, got some stuff, and then I went to Chestnut, and I went to a coffee shop. I read for about 30-40 minutes, and then I head home. Now here's the deal though. When I was coming out of the store, there was 3 people that had the accent. And I said, where are you guys from? I thought it was French, but they were actually from Mexico. And they looked like they're from Europe, like they're Europeans. They spoke 90% perfect English. And they're like, hey, how's it going? Blah, oh, I'm good. And I was like, and they said, how are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm actually in a really good mood. But I told them everything I told you, how I broke my collarbone and my shoulder blade and all the and I showed some of the road rash on my wrist and my elbow. That wasn't in the images. And then I turned and showed him my head, and I'm like, oh my god, because it was still bleeding at that point. So when I say 3 days, I mean day 1 was the accident, day 2 was the day I stayed home, and day 3, not 3 days after, technically 2 days after, so day 3, I'm going into the city. Now, if you notice, I'm walking in this video because I didn't ride my bike that day. So this was the 3rd day. So the German guy looked at me. He goes, if you wouldn't have showed us your head or your wrist or your elbow, he goes, you look totally fine. He goes, you look like you're in a good mood. You're bright. You got color to your face. And I was feeling really, really good. Now here's the deal. I was supposed to take these pain pills four times a day, up to 6 pills a day, plus acetaminophen, plus Advil, all this other stuff. And I just took 2 pills the first day and the second day, and then 1 pill at night every day after that. So before I went to bed at night, I took 1 pill. So here it's about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. I hadn't taken a pill in over probably 14 hours or more. So on the 5th day of Christmas, I went to the fire department. I thanked them for picking me up, and I got my bike back because they keep, that's where around here they keep the bike with the fire department. So I got the bike and I rode it home. Guess what I did the next day? Yep, I rode it in San Francisco, rode across the bridge, went right back, did my whole routine. Now here's the deal, I was supposed to just do it to the bridge and back, and then I went to the city. I ended up doing my 40-mile trip. I mean, I'm doing everything. I'm cleaning my car, I'm doing my laundry, I'm working with clients over the phone, posting my YouTube videos on both channels, I'm blasting it out to social media. I'm going into Google Merchant Center and I'm cleaning up all the stuff that's holding a lot of my products from being shown. I've just been going when I say non-stop, I mean non-stop. Now here's the deal. I haven't taken any pills in like 3 or 4 days. No pain pills, no Advil, nothing. I mean, I'm even wrenching on my bike now. The cranks and the bolts for the wheels are super tight. So I had to replace a flat tire. What else did I do? I took the chain off, cleaned the chain. I took both cranks off, and I had to tighten up the bottom bracket and put everything back together. And I'm doing all this with a broken collarbone, broken shoulder blade, and I've got just cartilage that's torn. I'm not going to go into detail, but it's a lot of stuff. Even worked with a client yesterday. We did a 3-hour session, and he didn't even know until the end. I said, I just had a real bad accident. He goes, when? You mean like last year? I'm like, no, like 12. I think then it was 10 days ago. 10 days ago. So I'm just now starting to talk about it to people. I haven't really told people. For some reason, I just don't really normally do this. This is kind of an unusual thing for me to do this, but I think here's why I think it's important. Something has shifted. Something has changed. I really do believe that energy healing did it beyond a shadow of a doubt. I mean, my attitude is just phenomenal. And yet, I'm dealing with a lot of physical issues right now. And I'm going nonstop. I'm doing more now than I've been doing it probably in over a year. I've just been on it. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, my nonstop attitude, it has to be You're the Fire Horse, because I just can't stop. I mean, I bet my doctor would be like, dude, what are you doing? I literally have surgery the day. It's going to be tomorrow. So you should get this Thursday, May 7th. So my surgery is the next day. So when I flew into the city a couple of days ago, I think it was 3 days ago when I did that 40-mile trip, I flew. It wasn't as fast as the time I did it before. It was about 2 weeks before, 10 days before this accident. That one, that was phenomenal. But it's because my collarbone, I can't quite get the torque and the strength from the arm because it's broke. But my point being is there's just something going on with me that's just different than anything I've ever experienced in my life. Because normally when I get hurt like this, I shut down. I mean, I completely shut down. I don't work. I don't do anything. I just heal. So this time it's different. I'm going to give you something that happened. So when I went through these last 2 clearings, it helped me to stop complaining about myself and blaming myself and being mad at myself. I mean, listen to what this is saying here. It's really true. Try improving yourself. And that's the difference. Now, when my doctor didn't get mad at me, because I thought he'd be pissed, he wasn't pissed. He's just like, okay, well, here's what we got to do. We got to open it back up. We got to put a sleeve on it, metal titanium sleeve, pull the bones together, let them heal, and then we're going to have to come back in again, and we're going to have to do another surgery. That's the thing I had to tell you. I've got to do another. So I got 2 surgeries ahead of me. Here's the other part. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. There's something about me where I'm driven again. I'm just going after it. I've got an unfair advantage, and it is energy healing for sure. A lot of people are just either afraid to do it or they don't want to commit to it. I don't know what it is, but man, it's the best thing in the world. I'm healing fast, I took some images tonight of my injuries. I probably should upload them in this video so you can see them. It's incredible. It's night and day difference. I mean, I've had road rash before, but nothing like this. It's healing faster now at the age of 57 than it was when I was a teenager. When I was in my 20s, I slid out on my moped. It dragged me because my foot got caught in the rear wheel, and that took at least a month to heal, and it wasn't as bad as the road rash that I have right now. I'll tell you what I'm doing. The only thing I'm doing, I'm not doing any kind of antibiotics or anything like that. I'm putting Vaseline on it. That's it, about 3 times a day. All I'm going to say is that something doesn't make sense why I'm healing so fast, why I'm dealing with the pain like it's nothing, especially at my age right now. It's, a friend of mine, I posted on my Facebook, he's like, dude, most of us would be crippled by what you just went through. I'll tell you what I honestly believe it is. It's my mental attitude. It's different. It's before I'd feel sorry for myself and shut down. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Here's the way I'm looking at it. I'm like, you know what? My doctor's going to do surgery on Friday, so I might as well ride my bike, get things done, go to the store, clean, do this, work with my clients while I can, because once we do that surgery, it's game over. It's starting all over again from ground zero, and the next 2 weeks is going to be a pain in the butt. So I figured, yeah, it's broken. What's the worst thing that can happen? He's going to fix it anyways. Let's get things done. And then when it's time to fix it, he's going to fix it. What's my message to you guys? You guys might think, oh, this is about Mike. No, this is about you. It's trying to show you that you can push yourself beyond anything you've ever imagined. Just because you have broken bones, it doesn't mean you need to stop. Life is fun again. I'll tell you something I realized in the last 10 weeks from the first surgery. I'm just getting things done, and here's what the realization is. It's not about perfection. It's about getting the job done. It's taking on a project, get it done. Take on a project, get it done. Take on a project, get it done. Now here's the thing, words of wisdom here. Obviously taking my shower was slower, drying off was slower, making food was slower, doing things was slower, but that didn't mean I had to stop. Keep going, regardless of the pace. Keep going regardless of what's going on. There's a phrase that has been going around, a meme, for a while, about 2 years ago. It's most of my kickboxing coaches and mentors were posting it. Essentially, it's like, we don't care if you're crying, keep going. We don't care if you're bleeding, keep going. We don't care if you're crawling, keep going. We don't care if you have broken bones, keep going. Regardless of what's going on with you, keep going. Like right now, obviously I can't use my right arm when it comes to shadow boxing. So I'm shadow boxing, I'm throwing kicks, I'm stretching, I'm using my left hand, the jab, the hook. I'm doing everything I can, and I'm holding my right arm close to my body as I'm doing this. So it's not perfect, but I'm doing what I can. So that's it right there. I mean, my left hand's fine, my left arm's fine, my legs were fine. Use them. Kick, punch, jab, kick, roundhouse, front kick. And just stretch, ride your bike, do whatever. And the thing is, like, do whatever you can. And that's the thing that'll make you feel good. Do what you can where you're at. Start where you're at right now with what you have. Push yourself. Move forward wherever you're at right now. That's the point. Get her done. Now I've got a couple videos I've made, a couple shorts that I've made while I was walking into San Francisco and riding my bike and doing this immediately after. I mean, not immediately after, but 3, 5, maybe it was 7 days when I picked up my bike. I don't remember. I think I say it in the video, so however long it was, it doesn't matter. But it just shows you can get things done regardless. So I'm going to upload these videos and over the next couple of days. So being awesome doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a world champion or a state champion. Being awesome is having an awesome attitude regardless of the situation and doing the best you can. Doing what you can. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. Do you get it? You don't have to be the best in the world, but you have to keep going. You'll feel so good about yourself. The last thing I want to say is, I cannot believe how freaking happy I am. It's a completely different mindset. It's a new mindset. It's a new way of looking at things. That's a perfect place to wrap this video up, because that's what this entire video is about. I really believe it's my mindset that's made all of this so much more enjoyable, to go through so much happy. It's the weirdest thing in the world. It's like this horrible thing that happened is like an awesome thing. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, because I've been going around like, and people are like, "Why are you so happy?" I'm like, I don't know. See, it's what I said just over the last 2 minutes, is like, if you can't walk, crawl. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. It's like, do what you can with what you have. Like, I can't use my right hand right now, obviously. I can ride a bike and hold the bike pretty firm, which is actually really cool. At that angle, I've got a lot of strength, but I can't pull up. I can't, do the things I normally do. But so here's the question. Okay, so what can I do right now? That's the mindset. Your mindset sets the tone for your entire life and your experiences in life. Awesome mindset, awesome life. Okay, I'm going into surgery in about 4 hours after I upload this. So I'll see you guys on the other side. Remember one thing, be awesome.